Hello, my beautiful sisters, and welcome to another episode of a Sisters Love Podcast. On today's episode of a Sisters Love Podcast, I'm going to talk about why did I start my healing journey and a couple things that I went through during this journey, because I'm still on a journey. Let's not get it twisted. I'm still on a journey, but some of the things that I can encounter and what I'm feeling right now that I'm a little further on this journey.
Welcome to A Sister's Love, the podcast that helps women who are healing by having those deep conversations, giving practical advice and words of encouragement. Come on, let's talk about it.
Hello, my beautiful sisters. Welcome to another episode of A Sister's Love Podcast. On today's episode of A Sister's Love Podcast, I'm going to be discussing why did I start my healing journey. And I'm going to talk about some of those roadblocks that I hit and some of the things that I am still going through because I am still on this healing journey. So I'm definitely going to talk about the things that I'm still working on and why I think I'm working on those things and some tools that we can use while we're on our healing journey. So for those who don't know me, my name is Rose Jones and I'm your host here at A Sisters Love Podcast. And I am just one woman with one voice trying to help other women heal on their healing journey and create a safe, judge-free zone where they can have the opportunity to actually heal and understand what they're going through. So if you are a woman who is in the beginning stages of the healing journey and you're looking for resources and you need that safe haven, then you are in the right place. I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and never miss another episode of a Sisters Love Podcast. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Why did I start my healing journey? To be honest, I thought I was fine. For those who don't know me and just new to the podcast and new to me, I've been in a lot of domestic violence situations. And the last serious one I was in, I was with my kid's father, and he had me in a life-death situation. And when I got out of that situation, I thought that I was good. I thought I was fine. I separated myself from him. I separated myself from the situation. So I thought that I was fine. And then I moved on, started a new relationship. Life was just doing life. And then I thought I was good. I was just living life. Then one day I found myself in my car with overflow of emotions, overflow of everything. I was angry. I was sad. I was frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't stop crying. I cried and I cried and I cried, and I didn't know why I was crying. I was just crying. Nothing I can say, nothing I could do could stop me. And I had to go to work. I'm on my way to work, and I'm like, I cannot stop crying. Like, how am I going to work like this? What the hell am I going to do? And like, I didn't understand what the hell was going on with me and why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And I think that was the initial point where I knew something was wrong and I had to figure out why. And that's what led me down the road of this healing journey. Is that was triggered the moment that I needed to start healing. I knew something was wrong and I had to figure it out. So with that being said, the first thing that I did was what everybody do. We go to our best friend, Google. I went to my friend Google and I just started Googling what was going on with me and try to figure out what it is. And everything that came up was like repress feelings, repress emotions, repress. I'm probably saying the word wrong. Repress. Stored emotions that I never released. I had emotions inside of me that I never let go. I always held everything in. Found myself to be very strong, very independent, very me. I got this. I don't need you type of person. Okay? But that came from me growing up where I had nobody but me. So I grew up knowing that it was me. So I became an adult about me. And I didn't trust nobody to tell them what was going on with me, even if I felt overwhelmed, if I felt frustrated, I felt angry. I didn't trust nobody with those emotions. I didn't trust to give anybody access to me in those areas. So I dealt with those in the best way I knew how. And the best way I knew how was to work, to make money. Okay? That was my way of dealing with my emotions. I would go to work. I would work them out. And I would, that pretty much what I would do. I would just go to work. When I say I used to work, baby girl, I used to work. I remember once I was working maybe 120 hours a week. Yeah. To the point that my body collapsed. I remember I was up for like maybe 48 hours and my body said, no, baby girl, you're going to go to sleep. And damn near fell asleep at the wheel. So your body will tell you what it's going through and why it's going through what it's going through. So you can't hide from your body. You can't hide from your emotions. It's only so long that you can hide all these emotions that you can keep them bottled up, because eventually you would hit your capacity and you have no other choice but to deal with them, because they're coming. Oh, they're coming. They're going to find you and you're going to have to deal with them. There's no way I could stuff those back in a bottle. I was trying. I was like, I got things to do. I can't deal with you right now. Like, go back in this bottle, trying to boom, explode it. Every moment, every second, I was crying. The smallest things would erupt me into like people looking at me like, Dad, what is going on with you? Like, are you pregnant? People was literally thinking I was pregnant because my emotions was literally that imbalanced. And it's like, something is off. Like, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go and see what's going on with you. I was just that irrational. And I was swinging from anger to frustration to sad to overwhelmed to just like flipping on everybody, not understanding what was going on. And after, what I had to do is sit with me. Again, sit with me and understand what was going on with me. And after, like I said, I went to my best friend Google and she told me what I had. I had suppressed emotions and I had to figure out why I suppressed them. Why was I not given these emotions a safe place to be expressed? Why wasn't I? And I told y'all earlier, it's because I grew up in a space that only person I had was me. My mom and my dad was married. I grew up with my mom and dad, but that space wasn't safe. My dad abused my mom. My mom, when she did divorce my dad, she went on a vacation, if you want to say that. Like, she went on vacation about her. Like, I never had a moment to myself. I've always been a wife, always been a mom. So this is for me. Now that I look back, I'm not mad at her for that, but I'm kind of disappointed that she left us behind. When she divorced my dad, she just wanted to live her life. She wanted to have the freedom. She wanted to be about her. And I know if that was her version of her starting her healing journey, but she left us hanging. And I know she didn't have the tools herself to deal with what she had to deal with. But because of that left me to feel like I only had me. I had my brothers, but they were boys. My older sister, she already started her life. She had kids she had to take care of. So didn't want to bother her. I didn't want to bother people. So I felt like I was left with me. And I was a loner because if you watch some of my other podcasts, I was bullied a lot and people didn't really resonate with me. And then I used to play with my brother outside with his friends, with the boys, and play football and stuff like that. But they didn't really bother me. I was a girl. I was a little sister. So I just imposed myself in places that I wasn't really welcome. So I felt rejected a lot. So I stayed with me. It was just me. And if I never taught me how to sit with my emotions and feel those emotions would just be stored away. So what I had to do was learn how to complete the process of feeling my emotions. And that's what I want to give you guys today. I know it was a long way to get here. Like, damn, shorty, you really took all that time to get to this one key point. Yeah, I just want y'all to understand. I talk a lot. It might not make a lot of sense, but I just want to kind of get y'all to understand, like, a lot of things has many purposes and many reasons why you at a certain point. Like, it's sometimes we think that is one road to why we are feeling the way we feel. It could be compound reasons why you are feeling the way you're feeling. It's like layers on top of layers on top of layers. And I know I have more layers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all my layers because we'll be here forever. So I just give y'all like the basics of the things that I explore and the things that I've been through. That's like the beginning start, like the beginning part of it, of why most of it started. You know what I'm saying? Where the suppressed emotions came from. And my mom was not an emotional person. Still to this day, I get I love you and a hug. But vulnerability? No, baby. No, baby. She is not talking. We are not having an intimate conversation. And I love her. So I accept her where she at in her capacity. And that is it, what it is. But I am going to be vulnerable. No more of me crying alone. If you hurt my feelings, I'm going to tell you. Oh, people think I'm like too much sometimes because of that. Like, oh, you hurt me. We need to discuss this. We need to discuss what you just said. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Let's get back on topic. So let's discuss how I start to sit with my emotions. So say I'm in a situation where me and my significant other is having a conversation and he says something that triggers me, that he unknowingly knows that it triggers me. And all of a sudden, I feel this state of being inside of me that makes me want to either do three things: fight, flight, or freeze. And you probably like, well, when you're triggered and these emotions that's inside of you that you don't know how to process, it will cause you to feel a high level of cortisol, which will cause you to go into survival mode. Okay? And that will cause you to do three things. Get defensive. Fight looks like being defensive. Flight looks like rejecting that person. Like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to walk away. I don't want to hear this no more. Rejecting them before they can reject you. Freeze looks like going into yourself. Just sitting there and just zoning out. Just looking numb. That's what that looks like. So when I feel myself go into one of those three, which I mostly go into fight a lot, I stop and look at myself. I'll pause the conversation. Like, I don't know what happened here or what's going on here, but I feel something that's starting to make me tingle. Okay. And I need to explore that more. And I ask them, is it okay if they help me explore it? And they either say yes or no, if they have the capacity to do it or not. If they say yes, I go into exploring this more, where we're discussing like, okay, you said this and this. Can I ask you, why do you feel this way about the specific thing that you just said? What led you to that conclusion? And they will go into depth of the explanation of why they said what they said. And that will give me the opportunity to see if my perspective of what they were saying is actually a place of fear for me or a place of danger. So I initially perceived what they said to me was dangerous. Like, they're going to put me in a place that's unsafe emotionally. So I don't want to continue the conversation. So I will either fight them to stop it. I will freeze. I will go inside of me. I will zone out so I don't hear anything else they said, or I will find a way to get out of the conversation. Instead of that, I will go into the conversation and I will listen to their perspective of what they're saying to initiate to see if I actually is receiving the information that they're saying in the right context. Because of what we've been through, we like to change the perspective to reflect what we feel in the inside of us. And that 90% of the time is not true. It's just what we're hearing now. We're hearing what we're hearing, but that's not what they're saying. So we have to go into depth and ask them for a deeper explanation of what is actually going on in the conversation, and ask them where they're coming from to see if this is actually a place of danger for us. And if it is, then you need to back away from that conversation. You need to literally don't go into that state of fight, flight, and freeze. You literally peacefully say, at this moment right now, I cannot finish this conversation, and I will let you know when I can. We'll walk away. And after you walk away, you regulate yourself. And how can you regulate yourself? You can regulate yourself by giving yourself a heart hug. Hand on chest, one on belly. Breathe in and out. Give yourself a real hug. This is how you feel when someone else is really actually hugging you. You put your hand behind your neck and you give yourself a hug, and you can rock. You can rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. Soothe yourself. Just make sure you regulate your breathing. Bring yourself down. Make yourself feel safe in the process of this place of danger. You know what I'm saying? Regulate your emotion. Give your emotion a space to be present. You can still feel whatever that emotion that came up. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's frustration. Maybe it's sadness. Feel it. But comfort yourself in the moment that you're feeling, because you have no one there to do it. You are your safe place. So you have to give yourself that hug, that comfort. So you can shake it out, like shake. You got to shake it out. Let it move through your body. Another good way is to hum. Let the vibrations go through your body. Just feel them though. Don't not feel them. Feel that emotion, sit with it. Whatever your body is doing, allow it to do. Allow it to release that emotion. If it wants to jerk, if it wants to cry, if it wants to contract, allow it to do that. But also make sure it's in the safe space for it to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's only if it's not a safe space. So if it is a safe place, you would allow them to give their perspective, and then you would tell them why you asked for that perspective. Like, well, this is what I heard. You know, I heard you say, like, when someone talks, like, for example, when someone talked to me about my kid, and it's like, oh, I see that Christopher didn't do his homework today. All I hear is, oh, you're a bad mom. Why didn't Christopher do your homework? Why did Christopher do his homework? What was you doing that Christopher didn't get his homework done? And all I hear is that you're calling me a bad mom. And that's not what they're saying. They were just asking me why Christopher didn't get his homework done. It's very that simple, but I didn't hear why Christopher didn't. I heard you're calling me a bad mom. And they just like, no, I just really want to know why his homework was not completed today. And I feel like my lack of awareness of knowing that he had homework today and not knowing that he didn't complete it is me being called a bad mom, because I wasn't there to ensure that his homework was done. That makes sense. So we have to just give people a chance to explain themselves. And if someone that really loves you, they will go that little extra mile, and just being open with them and telling them that I have a couple issues and I'm still working on it. And as long as you're moving forward, people are okay with helping you through that process. It's when people are stuck in a space of victimhood where people resent helping other people on their path. So if you're not trying to move forward, you're just trying to vent and you're trying to get someone to agree with you and help you stay in a mindset of victimhood, then that becomes a problem, because it becomes exhausting to the other person. You're looking for validation. You're looking for someone to tell you that you're right. Like, this person did say what they said about you. Like, did you hear them? See, and you're calling 10,000 people to confirm what they said. And it could be 9 people that say that you are wrong and that one person that say you're right. It's like, yeah, I told you, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where it comes over exhausting, when you're not actually trying to move forward. If you're actually trying to move forward and you're really in a process, that process would actually help you and that other person to move forward and their healing. Because a lot of people don't even know that they need healing, but just being in a space of healing and being in a space with somebody that's actually working on themselves will create a ripple effect. And you're just like, oh, that felt good. And that's something that I just learned today. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that in other spaces of my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's just some things that I really want to talk about today. And that's what I just want to talk about, how I got started on my healing journey and why I started it, and a couple issues that I ran into. And that's mostly around me not, like I just said, mostly around me not hearing people and perceiving people as danger, because I had trust issues. Like, I can't take your word for that. And what I had to learn is that we walk into relationships, even as that a personal, business, or intimate relationship, with trust. You trust people until they tell you they can't, until they're not trustable. I don't know if I said that right. I learned to trust people until they prove to me that I can't trust them. I used to go into spaces where I'm not trusting people. I don't trust you until you prove that I can trust you. So I had to change my perspective. Like, I give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove me otherwise. Because if I go in the other way, I go in with my guards up. If you keep your guards up, you will not be able to actually enjoy this process of healing and actually explore and grow, because you're contracting. There's another form of survival mode. So I need you to not go into yourself and just find ways to build this block. Like, let me hide behind these situations, but actually find ways to be open. Open yourself up and open and explore things a lot more. I just need you to just go in more with an open mind, open perspective, and see the world. I'm not saying like as rainbows, because we know everything that ain't sunshines and rainbows, but you gotta find a joy in life. You can't just be on guard all the time. Give people a chance. I'm not gonna say that every interaction you're gonna have is gonna be a good one, but with that process, you get to learn how to walk away from people and things that don't serve you. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, okay, I gave this person a chance. They did not serve me the way that I needed to be served, and they did not aid me in the way that I thought I should be aided. And I'm not able to aid them in the way that they thought that I should aid them. So I'm okay with walking away. I'm okay with not exploring this situation or relationship any further. And that could be friendships, that could be intimate relationships, that could be family relationships, that can be any type of interaction that you have with people. Just understanding that at any moment that it's okay to let go of something that is not serving you in a way that's beneficial to you or the other person. And it could be like that person is beneficially serving you. And that's another topic for another day. But like talking about how someone can initially benefit you in every way possible, and you're not pouring into that person in no way possible. That is unfair to that other person. And you need to walk away. You need to be aware of where you are standing and what you are doing in your relationships. Are you standing still and this person is moving forward? And if that is true, you need to leave that person. You need to let that person go, because you will hold them back eventually. It's easier to drag someone down than to bring them up. So if you are aware of where you are and you know that this person is moving so much faster than you and you are going to be stagnant, you cannot keep up, let them go. It might hurt, but you will see that it is best for you and that other person. Because if you truly love someone and you really want them to do well in life, you will let them go. And with that being said, the homework for today, I'm just like homework. What I want you to do today is really tap into you. I want you to explore your initiation. Like, what do you think was your trigger that caused you to want to heal? What was that thing that was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. I really cannot do this anymore. I want to know what that is. Let me know. Tell me in the comments below what that thing is that started your healing journey that made you think, I cannot do this anymore. Something has to change. I don't know how it's going to change, but it needs to change. Tell me what that is in the comments below. And also, don't forget to send me your questions that you would like for me to answer on another episode of the podcast. I'm open to any questions. Questions about self-love, trauma, healing, anything. Let me know. And I got you. If you have a story that you want me to read and you want me to break it down on the podcast, let me know. I got you. You can send that to me too. And I can give you advice based on the story. You know what I mean? A scenario. Let me know. I got you. Okay? Well, that's it for today's episode of a Sisters Love Podcast. But before we end, I would like to invite you to our exclusive support group. Inside this group, you'll get access to resources and guides, and you'll get access to a judge-free environment, a safe space for you to tell your story, for you to be heard, for you to feel love, for you to actually heal. And inside this space, I have resources, including the one that you're going to get right away as soon as you put your email down below, is creating safety in your healing journey. In this guide, you're going to get access to understanding what is survival mode, how to navigate outside of that and how to create a solid foundation in your healing journey so that you can actually heal on the right foot, so that you don't actually feel shaky. We know that healing is a path that is not the same for everybody, but to actually start the healing process, it is a foundation that you need. You definitely need a foundation, and a lot of people don't understand it, because that's where I found myself lost and confused and looking to Google to help me, instead of finding a community of women that understand the process and understand what I'm going through and that can actually help me because they've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to tap in. Don't be scared. And if you don't want to actually interact in the community, just come in and get the resources. It will literally help you so much. My goal is to help you women heal and to help you get back to loving yourself. So I definitely need you to tap in. I would love for you to be part of my sisterhood. So definitely put that email below and leave any questions and concerns that you have for me. And I'll see you next episode. Bye. Have a blessed day.